Hello again, 8th grade. This is our first lab of our distance learning program thing. So this lab is going to be about mixtures. Mixtures are weird because they're when two substances come together and they combine with each other, but they don't react chemically. So they're still, each individual part of them is still the same as it was before it came into the mixture. That means if you know the right thing to do, you can actually separate that mixture out again. So our lab today is pretty simple, so you might actually be able to do this at home if you have the right stuff. All you need is some sort of a glass container or some sort of see-through container. You need a ruler, you need a coffee filter, and it can be a circle or it can be a cone, whatever you use. You need a permanent marker, you need a spoon, and you need some rubbing alcohol, like this, which is what you might use on cuts or something like that. So here's how it works. First things first, you gotta find the middle of your coffee filter. So to do that, I like to just fold the coffee filter in half, like this, and then fold it in half again. And then right at the center, or right at the end of the little cone tip, is the middle of your coffee filter. So then you can unfold it, and right at the middle of the two fold lines is the very center. Then what you do is you take your ruler and you measure out 5 centimeters from the center, and you make a little mark with your permanent marker at each of the 4 lines going around the outside. So I'll make my first mark here, then I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, so measure out 5 centimeters and mark. So right there I have my first mark, if you can see it. I measured out 5 centimeters from the very center and made a mark along one of those fold lines. Now I'm going to do it at all the other lines. Like that. Measuring out from the center, like that. Boom, ba-doom. And then like that. So now I've marked out 4 spots around the coffee filter. Now comes a little bit of skill. You need to draw a circle around the coffee filter where all 4 of the dots connect. So I'm gonna try it. If you don't get it perfectly right, that's fine. But you basically want it to form a large circle connecting those dots. So here we go. Oh, this is not looking too bad. Not terrible. Oh, boys, that was not too bad. Okay, so as you can see, this is what I'm looking for. I didn't get it exactly lined up along the edges, but that's okay. That's fine. What did you do now? Well, in the bottom of your glass jar or clear cup or whatever you've got, take your rubbing alcohol and you want to pour in about a centimeter's worth of rubbing alcohol in the bottom. It doesn't have to be exact, but you don't want a lot. You just want about a centimeter worth. And 1 centimeter is to the end of my finger right there. So it's really not much, a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna put in about that much. So let me show you up here. So this is about how much we're putting in, not a whole lot. Then what you do is you take your coffee filter, you fold it sort of again so that you get a defined bottom in the middle there. So the book says to use a pencil to push down the middle, but I like to just do it like this, so that you want it to be kind of like a cone with that folded downwards. And then you're going to put it into your cup. You're going to put it in the cup so that just the very tip of the coffee filter gets in the alcohol. Not a ton, but just a little bit of the tip of the coffee filter gets in the alcohol. What's going to happen is over time, the alcohol is going to soak up into the coffee filter, and when it hits the black ink of the permanent marker, something really cool is going to happen. Because it might not seem like it, but black ink, especially in permanent markers, is actually made of lots of different colors of ink, all mixed together into one thing. And when you mix them all together, you get black as the color. So what we will see, hopefully, with this alcohol The alcohol is a non-polar substance. We're going to talk about that next week. But a non-polar substance can dissolve another non-polar substance, which is what the ink is like. The ink and the alcohol, both non-polar. So the alcohol will dissolve the ink and will let the colors sort of fall down from the ink. So we'll be able to see something that's going to look pretty cool. All right, I'll check back in a little bit and we'll see what happened. After several hours of letting the alcohol soak up through the coffee filter, this is what you can see. So now you can write your observations and answer the lab questions.